Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Friday the 10th, where we talk about Friday the 13th.
Yes, Friday the 13th. Like Friday the 13th. Everybody's like, what are you going to put it on during the Friday the 13th? You know how long that takes?
Takes a long time. That's
How
years.
arduous, how dumb that is. Hi everybody, three Black Geeks. It's me and Chris tonight. As always, click, subscribe, and follow us on all the platforms. And something I just realized, Chris. Remember the thing I brought up to you about not showing all of our stuff? Yeah, it's still not, but our full library is on Leipzig.com.
Yeah,
For
it
whatever
is.
reason, something's going on right now. I have
It's
no idea.
showing up. Okay, so here's the weird part. Somebody brought to his attention that they couldn't see all the episodes on Apple on iTunes. And it's weird because I went on iTunes and I saw all the episodes right there. And I don't know whether it's a glitch.
That shit stops right around by March 2022 or some shit. It is weird.
So it might be just a thing of like iTunes can only archive to a certain point.
And I'm thinking that's really what it is, but it's all good though.
Spotify has all the episodes.
Spotify does, but it doesn't. It's weird because I know certain old episodes where y'all refuse to make me delete. I looked up one of them, can't find it on Spotify. Two of them actually, I can't find.
Oh, okay, so it must be a limit to how far.
I think that's really what it is, man.
Because even Kevin Smith's podcast is kind of like that to a degree, unless you like.
But you know what it is? It's hating ass niggas, man. Hating ass technology. Trump's in the office, man. Blame that nigga. That's what we do around here.
But we're here to talk about Friday the 13th, Part 3, and as Tevin illustratedly pointed out previously on Friday the 13th, pitchforks, potato sacks, revenge.
I like how in the first one, because it was so funny because when the movie first started off, right?
Yeah.
You just see Jason's you see the whole little recap over the last
15 minutes of the last. Basically, the last 10 minutes
movie.
of the previous movie, basically.
I was like, why are we doing? Oh, yeah, this the 80s. I forgot about that shit. That's what you did back then. This movie came, that's when it hit me like, how old is this movie? This movie came out in 82, a year before I was born. And I find it wild that movies back then, you really didn't need a recap because this is before even the convenience of VCRs like that. This was still during this was Betamax time, but even then, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't like in homes like that at the time. Betamax is actually very niche, man. I don't know why. I think
my mom had a Betamax, so
yeah. I think as 80s kids just bring that shit up just as a way of a weird flex, like it really fucking means something. It really doesn't.
Look. I feel fortunate to say that there are things when you're like an elder millennial to like younger millennial, there are certain things that you were privy to before it phased out. So for me, we had a Betamax player, but by the time I was cognitive and old enough, we had a VHS player. So my mom still had her Betamax player off to the side. But it was like, well, we have a VHS player. No point in having this, you know.
Now, there's a full record player, and then there was a smaller one. I was cognizant of knowing my parents having both. They had the big one. And
my parents had the big one. They never had the small one. They still got their big one, actually.
I think my parents been got rid of this shit. I think it's a part. See, a part of me still thinks, God forbid that day comes and I'm going through all their stuff in the damn house. They still had this shit. A part of me thinks
my parents still have their records, and I need to go over there and be like, "Hey, can I borrow some of you guys' records?" Because
you know what? I think I need to start making pictures and making fun of my mom. Look what my mom listened to. Look at this shit.
My mom still got boxes of all her gospel tapes. John P. Mahalia Jackson.
My mom got all the old church messages. Come on, y'all. Y'all black. Y'all have parents.
My mom has the clamshell from the Heart.
Had the clamshell junks. My mom had the clamshell junks, different churches and shit. It had the sticker on there. It's always like a hand with hands like this, the cross on it. Like, come on, we all went to a black church. We had
but to your point though, this was a thing that happened during this time period because there was such a big space in between both these movies. It wasn't like they
Mhm.
were putting these like nowadays. It's sort of like the very first world problem, but it's also an issue right now in the industry to where there's way too much shit out here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
It,
way
it,
too much shit.
I think here's the thing. Here's the thing. When it comes to just where we're at, as far as not just in accessibility, but how this shit is just produced so quickly, so fast. Like Chris, in between now, like when we first started around about 2016, around that time. I'm just giving around that time. We started before that, but around that time, that's when we started going to different movies and all that.
Yeah.
Not the rate of movies coming out, because some that's just how the nature is. Sometimes a lot
Yeah.
of movies come out, sometimes not too many come out. It matters on
Yeah.
how the year is with the movies. But as far as content, as far as shit just coming out on a regular day,
Yeah.
especially with streaming and VOD, between 2016 and now, it so much is
It
coming
went
out,
up.
so much
It
is
went
coming
up.
out, and people can go back now and see it and binge and all the rest of that. In the 80s, you had none of that. It
In the
was a
90s
movie.
too.
Yeah, in the 90s, it was the movie theater, and you waited for that shit to come on TV unless you had home entertainment. And that's what made the VCR, the VHS era so big, because
Mhm.
everybody stayed watching all that. The reason why horror movies thrive the way they do today is because the way they did back then. Horror movies are really simple and cheap to make,
Oh yeah.
so you can make them. You can make them like that. You can do the same thing with a star with a space movie. All you gotta do is put up a black curtain, but that's a little bit different now.
But
But
I mean,
still,
this movie was a $2 million movie, and it made damn near close to 40 million.
this was the biggest. If I am mistaken, this was the biggest. This brought back the biggest one until I think Jason has died.
Yeah,
The way he dies at.
yeah,
No, yeah, yeah. I think that was the biggest box office it had, if I'm mistaken. Like all of them were successful. Don't make it no stretch of the imagination. But I think this was the most successful until then, if I am
yeah. I mean,
mistaken.
if you also look at it, like, um, New Line, New Line Pictures came out of this because they didn't want to do. I forgot what movie that they were putting out, but New Line Pictures like that company was founded because they were trying to put out a movie. And
Uh huh.
that's rare nowadays for a production company to just crop up because other studios didn't want to make it because somebody's
Well,
going to take it.
yeah. Well, yeah. It was on. It's like New Line was made in response to something, much like Touchstone was made for Disney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sort of like it was made as a response to something. And this was also during the time where United Artists crashed because
Hmm.
their whole shit fell apart, and how Hollywood pretty much made it difficult for directors from that point on.
Yeah. Nightmare on
And
Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on
Like,
Street,
yeah,
yeah,
New
I
Line
forgot about that. Yeah,
Cinema was founded because they were trying to get Nightmare on Elm Street out, and it was like, fuck it, we'll make our own production company and put it out. And it's like,
yeah.
boom, off to the races.
Yeah, you had to do that. Paramount didn't have that problem. Paramount actually, when the first one came out, they didn't know how well it would do, and when it did well, that's when Paramount became whores about it, and that's why. Even with this one, at the end of the movie, in this one, they show they show like the lake being all calm and going to
Mhm.
black and all
Serene.
that, because it was supposed to be the last one.
And then the next one was supposed to be the final
Eh,
chapter.
and then it wasn't. That's how it go. That's how this whole series went.
But like,
It was literally like Jason. It kept coming back.
but like the first 5-10 minutes of this movie is a recap of what happened at the end of the last movie. And I think what had me laughing was this is where this, like, you know what it is? It's like watching the beginning of Terminator when they come from the future and they kill people for their clothes. That's basically what Jason did. He killed a bunch of folks that owned a pet store.
Just for their clothes, man. These
For their
motherfuckers
clothes was like, all right, like I guess Jason,
but
sure.
but it needs to be said though, Chris. When the movie started, I'm thinking, all right, don't. You see Miss
Yeah,
Voorhees sitting, with the eyes closed. Here's the other thing. Those eyes are supposed to pop open.
they were.
They didn't do that. They didn't do that. Thank God.
That was like creepy.
Instead, they went for funky. Next thing you know, boom, don't, don't, don't. I'm like, baby, hold up. Don't, 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 don't. I'm like,
I mean, we
don't, don't,
still in
don't,
that.
don't. That
For those
joke
that
weird.
don't
I'm
know,
like,
82, we were still kind of in that like the disco
oh,
is over, but we still getting some disco
this
hits.
is when funk was still. See, the thing that I think that's the one thing that's what made the 80s kind of cool. Funk still existed. That
Yeah,
was the
funk never
remnants of
left. Like disco died
yeah.
off, but funk was still
Disco was
kicking.
supposed to be white people's funk, and I got to be real with you, white people. Yeah, that was y'all's.
There was some
Disco,
hits. There
black
was
people.
some hits
Oh
in
no,
disco.
black people. We put our dust on that shit too.
Yeah.
We probably made the better hits. But that being said, y'all, that was y'all shit.
Murders.
Boy, nigga, the
Man,
second that joke, they're like, don't, like, oh
I
god,
feel low key Jason has like if he had like the little fucking ear headphones as he's killing people, that's the soundtrack the whole time.
like when I heard that,
Like Jason Bateman in American Psycho when he
no
walks to the
bullshit,
office.
yeah. Only thing that was missed when I heard that do. All of a sudden, I'm thinking to myself, just like, like, oh no, Jason showed up, baby. Do. Oh, he's about to kill us all, baby, Bubba.
I feel like if I was doing
Yeah,
I feel if I was doing like a recent commercial where I was splicing up like nostalgia, I'll do a commercial where it's Jason with like Raycon earbuds. When I want to chill, Jason kills you with Raycon earbuds. It's
boy, let me tell you, man. There's not the 80s. Like people, like one of the things I love about the 80s was 80s funk. Black people still producing funk, and Prince was a prime example of that
oh
shit.
yes,
Like funk music
I
still
want to be
exists,
your
but
lover.
Rick James though, but Rick James was the king of was a king of funk at that time, and all his shit in the 80s was still. Here's the thing. Funk, the way funk changed was in the 70s. It was a lot of blackness to it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? In the 80s, somebody put the booger sugar down on the table. That's the difference, and you can hear
before
the difference in the music.
before the crack came through, we still had some
Oh, when it
the
kept
highest of level of cocaine usage.
now for D, when the crack came through, that's when we're like, "Oh, baby Bubba, what you gonna do?"
Well, as we saw in Jason Takes Manhattan, that was peak crack era in New
Now,
York.
everybody, get on up. Everybody, now get on up. Ha ha ha. That's crack music to D. That's crack music
I
to
think
D. I
I'm
love look. I love that song to death. But you know what I think is pure crack music? Oh my god! Oh, I'm sorry. That is pure. And if you're an 80s baby like me and Chris, that is pure. Get out my room! Get out my room, boy! I'm trying to
hey, hey,
with the crack pipe in it.
that character in Snowfall, the dude that plays Stacy in the fucking wood, where he was
Yeah,
listening to fucking electro synth music, he was jamming out. I'm like, this motherfucker smoking crack and listen to all right, man,
man,
shit. Like
man.
that makes sense.
Bambada. Look, I got to be real with you. I
Listen
would
to
never do.
Africa Bambaataa.
Hey,
Crack.
Chris, I will never, and hear me, y'all. I will never do crack cocaine. But if I do, I'm listening to pound, 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 pound. Oh, if I'm on crack, yes, I am.
I think the scariest shit ever is how he told everybody, "Shh, don't you hear that? Turn the music down." I was like, yo, he is in the zone. I was like, when he said he heard that dude in the other room with his mouth duct taped that he was making noise, I was like, bro, I know he is on the highest percentage of crack on that.
Okay. You know what I love? You know what I love? I love how drugs have proven to everybody it does give you superpowers, but you don't want them.
Hey, that's why the NHL was cracking down on marijuana in the NHL because they know that shit will give Ovi. He be breaking Wayne Gretzky's records every fucking year for
Oh
money.
man, you get like half them niggas do microdose marijuana anyway. They're from all from Canada. They found ways to like, nah, and this for your back. Nah, it ain't, nigga. I know what it's for.
Got chronic back pain, crazy.
Thank you. You know what? I stand by this, and it's wrong. because a lot of y'all not going to understand what I mean by this. Different crowd because of our sports crowd, they know what I mean by this. But D wants steroids back in baseball for all
We
the
need it.
selfish
We
reasons.
need it.
I want
Ratings.
steroids back.
Ratings.
I for all the selfish reasons. Yes, I do. Do I want their records to be upheld? It matters who it is. Okay, it matters who it is.
Still
All
waiting for
right.
Barry. Hey, look. All I'm saying is the day they put Barry Bonds in, that's when it's all bets are off. That's
That's
all
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying. When y'all put Barry Bonds in, I need to see the needle in the ass as they walk up to the plate. That's all these
Show
saying.
Otani looking around like, the fuck is going on here?
So no, I need Shoei on freaking Mr. Itani. I need you on the roids too.
Sir, you trying to make him the fucking Japanese super soldier? Like
Boy,
Captain,
nah,
like, are you
just
really? Or is that what we
imagine
doing?
him with a Roger Clemens build, just stacked. One, I never seen a Japanese guy with a singular neck. That would be great. Just looks like an angry thumb. It just starts like, come on, bro. We
But if we talk,
need that.
if we talk a time period, what I love about this is that I like and I respect the series for having their stereotypes. I felt that this movie was definitely the last bastion of the 70s flower child because of it's like, of course, there's two hippies in the car smoking fucking weed.
Now, that started a new trope of there's always have to be a stoner in there. Now,
Yeah,
Now, this was also during that same time during this time where they still were trying to figure out teenagers. It's kind of funny.
yeah,
When I was looking at Black what's it called? Black Phone, right?
yeah,
I was
Black
looking
Phone.
at I looked at Black Phone last night and I noticed how all the kids look. And I say, yeah, this is very 70s, but y'all don't look old like 70s kids. And I pump my brakes for 2 seconds though, because this is a good point. Most of the kids we saw on television were old as fuck playing
Uh,
teenagers.
as somebody that watched you can't,
So
as somebody that watched You Can't Do This on television during the early days of Nickelodeon, them motherfuckers look older.
all of them niggas
And
was
they were
26.
nigga, and they were supposed to be late, like seniors in high school. And I'm like, you don't look
Exactly. Even our boy that was in Wonder Years and in
a Fred
and
Savage.
your boy, he was in what's the name? What
Fred
movie?
Savage.
No, your favorite show. Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Big
Oh, I know you're
dude.
talking about. Yeah, big dude. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Even with him, man. You be like, oh, but he's old. He like, actually, I'm 16. I just
Like,
look older than what
like,
I
oh,
am.
he's like old boy from Mighty Ducks, where I'm like Eldon Henson, where I'm like, yo, Eldon. So how were you supposed to be in this movie again?
And that's what I'm saying. Like when I look at those movies, I noticed that, oh yeah, they were younger. They like these kids can act now. Some of these kids are really good at, really good actors as teenagers or whatever they are. You know what I'm saying? They can play their role very well. Child's actors have changed.
Well, I mean,
So you're not going to get like in this movie, which is supposed to be a bunch of teenagers. I gotta be real with you.
it looked like
These
they had
niggas are
20.
30 years old. Everybody now they look like they were youngest.
I
They
would say,
actually
okay,
look.
okay,
That looks like that was
okay,
21
okay. Keep that
back
up.
in the day.
Keep that up. Keep that up. The girl on the left, I can buy her being 21, 22, right? My man on the right, you hitting 30,
Yeah, you
coming
hitting
off
30.
that steel mill job. All
Yeah,
right.
you got a kid.
You look like you ready for some pot roast, gravy, and meatloaf and mashed potatoes, buddy.
Shut the fuck up. Every
The
time I
metal
come home,
thermos.
Every time I come home at night, you come over here telling me about you ain't got the shit ready, you ain't got this ready. The goddamn kids is fucking yelling at me. Come over here, bitch.
Welcome back, Connor. Yes.
Welcome back, Carter. Everybody in Welcome Back, Carter was
Look. D, we have said it best.
they
Okay.
had kids on set.
D, we have said it best. Our father's generation, they had a rough life. All right. It was just the civil rights movement and just things in life in general. All right. They were built different. All right.
Two of the older men in my job were talking about boxing, and they were talking about Muhammad Ali, and we mentioned Muhammad Ali, and he was old and all that. And we like, yeah, sir. I'm like, I was saying what made Muhammad Ali so great was that he came up through a gauntlet of heavyweights that were the real deal. Every one of them could have been world champions and really, really good world champions. Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier ended up being one of them,
Yep.
and George Foreman. I was just, just praising him. But when I got to George Foreman, I was like, I love George Foreman probably the most out of those older ones that weren't Muhammad Ali for one main reason. We don't make niggers like him
George Foreman
anymore. I hate
was
to use a hard R, but we stop making Negroes like that when the thought of slavery and oppression stopped. We stopped producing that.
if
Like here, hold on, y'all. This is how evolution works. You know
Mhm.
how evolution works? You change as your atmosphere goes and all the rest of that shit. For black people, we had to be built a certain way.
Yeah.
When we found out that the crackers weren't going to kill us for every single thing, we got a new upgrade. Thus, millennials, resilient, could talk fast, a lot smarter, penises slightly longer. That's what makes
in shape, healthy.
most of us in shape. Do the vaccines. That's right. Vaccines is why most of you
Vaccinations.
vaccinations is why most of you black people look beautiful right now. You letting all them niggas named Hamir and Hakeem who ain't breaking 5'5" lie to y'all talking about vaccinations. Don't do that shit. Anyway, yeah,
Me and you have the super
but
soldier
then
serum
Chris,
in our
but then
veins.
Chris, but then Chris, when Negroes found out, when we finally got our mentality, like we do not have to be in the hood no more. We can go out and be different places. We can be successful here and all the rest of that. When Barack Obama came into play for black people, we told our DNA, make us softer. That's how, and that's why we like pull your pants up, do this. Why y'all niggas why y'all YNs so soft, but y'all want to be hard? Why? Because Obama came in there, and the predatory thought of white people made us.
All I'm saying
No,
is,
all I'm saying is this: kids that are getting bored now are going to be tougher than the batch before them. That's all I'm saying.
look. If unbridled Negro strength had a face, it's George Foreman.
George Foreman can punch a hole into a mountain, and then no, hold on, and then we got to stop because we got to find a way to stop the mountain from bleeding. That's how hard the nigga can hit.
It's like, yeah, we don't. And look,
Do you know that Heihachi bit the motherfucking tomahawk?
that's black niggas.
Nah. George Foreman. George Foreman is every Chuck Norris meme. He's really is. No, seriously. I don't think y'all understand. Y'all see George Foreman grill, bald-headed black man. Name all my kids George. That is a man that has all the strength of niggerdom.
Actually, I take it a
Built
step
in.
further. I take it a step further. If unbridled nigger strength had a face, it'd be Bubba Smith from Police Academy. That's hey
Go
dog.
home, Chris.
If I threw a chair
Go
at him, he'll
home.
eat the chair. Like, what
Go
was that?
home. No, I'm thinking of Hightower. I'm thinking of Hightower.
No, that's him. It's hot. Yeah, he's
It's Hightower, right? That's Hightower, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm making sure.
I swear that, like, I remember watching those Police Academy movies. I was like, that's a big dude. Like, that is crazy.
Who was that nigga? You know the nigga that was in Unbridled Negro Strength to me is actually remember the dude in Players Club that had put the gun in Bernie Mac's mouth?
Oh yeah.
Now the reason why I say that because I remember him in Mississippi Burning, and he had Army in front of him. He was scared the shit out of him. He's like, you know what they did to that boy? They took this knife and cut his scrotum off. Now I'm about to do the same to you. And Army over there like, it's almost the same way. The same deal went down. Next thing you know, you saw that Bama on a plane doing this to Willem Dafoe. Gene Hackman's like, he didn't call him the N-word. What's going on here? Willem Dafoe was like, well, we got everything we needed and blah, 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 blah. I don't want to do Mississippi
I kind of want
Burning.
to do it. It's relevant.
I really don't want to, because Mississippi Burning, I would do Mississippi Burning before I do any slave movie, though.
Oh yeah,
I really mean
look,
that.
I'd rather
Because
do A Time to Kill personally. That's
Time to Kill is another. It's not a hard one because we all wait for. Yes, they deserve that. We're waiting for that.
Well,
You
that's
know
how
what I
we
mean?
felt about Charlie Kirk. Yes,
Yes, they deserve to die. And I hope it burn in hell.
Nah, that, and for our indigenous people, we can do the Val Kilmer, Thunderbolt, movie.
I hate you, Chris.
I want people to understand,
Val
as ridiculous
Kilmer,
as it was that you're
Val
supposed to make me
Kilmer
believe that
put
Val Kilmer
brown
had.
makeup on himself.
No.
No,
He was
didn't.
white.
No, he didn't.
He
No,
was
he didn't. No,
white,
he didn't.
but he
No,
found
didn't.
out he was like an 8th Cherokee or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like he came close to doing. I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he
didn't do no dance. He did do a dance.
He didn't do the dance, but it was like he embraced his native roots. And
okay, here's the thing. I could get with that.
Yeah.
That's like okay. Okay, because I know black people, that's y'all low barrier when you get the one white friend that can actually do the bus stop with y'all niggas. Like, no, we can't. Like, oh, he did the electric slide. He's white.
If he
that's the least they can do.
Do the fan dance, something shit.
Like, no, I'm not saying do the fan dance. Like, you want like no, I was gonna say it like you want to, like, if this nigga can tell, if you could put on if you can put on an Al Jarreau song and he knows what it is, then maybe we can see.
Nah, hey, look, in this climate, I am not for giving cookout invites. So
cookout, man, I'm so sick of I'm not white folk. I'm so sick of y'all giving these cookout invites to all these white people. Like, and I say this as a person that you know what? I'm trying to think. Who's the Caucasian that I let in the door? Oh, D probably let 2 in. I already know I did. I just got to figure out, and I have to cop to my plea. I'm just saying, I'm thinking about it. But
anyway, but going back to this movie, though, it's like so the whole basic premise is that we're with a new group of people, including one character who had trauma from her previous dealings of being at Crank Crystal Lake during I believe, the first movie.
Yeah, during the first movie.
During the first movie.
They and the way
some callbacks.
And the way it's kind of framed, they make it look like did Jason rape you?
Well, it's like it's the addition of.
I ain't say that he did. It's just like, wait a minute.
All I'm saying is your family had land on Camp Crystal Lake, which I know that property value fluctuated so fucking much over the years. It had to.
Hey, honey, look, it only costs $10 if you're on the land. America's great. I tell you, that Gerald Ford has been a boon to America.
Well, that's Jimmy Carter, sir. Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy, what?
Before Reagan came in and said, "Yeah, fuck your solar energy. Get this shit off the White House.
Get this fried chicken hippie shit out of here."
I know he said that shit. I know he said that.
What's on the menu today, Mr.? Hey, Gipper, what's on the menu today? Crack cocaine in all of its glory.
Hey, listen, Crystal Lake is the murder capital of Jersey, and them property values never fucking damn drop.
I like the fact that here's the best part. Them cops got to be pissed off. They got up there. This is the 3rd time,
bro.
Within 10 years.
Understand.
Remember the first time it happened, it was like at least a 10-year, 14-year gap.
A 10-year apiece. Like, all right, everything's fine.
This one, though, it's been a murder in the last 4 years, young.
These men were just like, we just got the body from the lake. We got a murder at the general store. What the fuck is going on?
We still trying to figure out about the little boy's body that was still in the lake that came up out of nowhere. We still dealing with that shit.
Now we got 2 bodies.
Fuck you mean he came back up there and started killing more people in a burlap sack? What? Jason woke up, Terminator mode, put on new clothes, and kept it moving, man.
Got his new mask on and stuff and everything. And I'm like, all right, I guess.
Oh my God.
And I like how this movie had, because these youths have to contend with Jason, they have to add a new wrinkle. The local biker gang.
Which I gotta be honest with you. Who knew? Who knew that the local biker gang was really going to be the adversary before Jason? I did
Well,
not.
Jason took care of the biker gang with quick thing here, so it's like you would
And,
have thought
and
that I would have, at least personally, because again I hadn't seen the movie in a minute. I was like, damn, the biker gang didn't even put up a fight.
no, they didn't.
I
No, they
was really
didn't.
expecting something, and I'm like, damn, they
The
didn't do
first victim,
shit.
the first victim in the movie, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, is a
You know, the minority,
is a
because
is a,
black
is a
people gotta
woman of
go first.
is, yeah, is a woman of color, and
A very
and
beautiful woman of color.
yeah, man, yeah, but look, you know what's beautiful? That the handle poking out at the camera. Because again, everybody, I don't think I mentioned this early that about 3D. It was really a thing. The 3D was actually a thing.
This
No,
was
and I
good 3.
mean,
This was actually, to be fair, like before. Okay, so here's the interesting part. Like, again, me and you, we're older millennials. I think it's interesting how we saw the ebbs and flows of the entertainment industry. Because, like, for us, I guess cognitive, if we were watching movies, 3D was kind of like dissipating off,
mhm.
basically. So, like, we were kind of on the tail end of it, but movies were still kind of still every once in a blue moon, it'll be a 3D gimmick to a movie, but it was very sparingly.
Now, this is just D's remembrance of it because yeah, you're right. I remember the 3D movies. The last one I remember that was big that made it was like one. It was something in the early '90s. I can't really remember it, but 3D was always a gimmick in the movie industry, and they just the real, like I said, with the blue and with the red and the blue. This version of green actually.
Mm.
This version of 3D was going out of style.
Ah,
It was
okay.
only, and it was only. Now remember, Chris, there was a time during that blank time where we didn't see it a lot. It was only in like amusement parts where they used
Yeah.
like 3D and stuff
Terminator
like
ones had 3D. It
that.
was
Hmm.
Terminator, and I think that this is the one that I remember. Siegfried and Roy had a 3D sort of like entertainment thing going on at the time.
I
But
don't know why, but
in the
okay.
movies, though, you remember Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare was 3D.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember that. That was they
yeah.
purposely, because I remember there was a comic book. Yeah, I had gotten a comic book, Pizza Hut comic book. Um, and I remember flipping through it, and it was an advertisement for Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare in 3D. You
And
know.
and I remember another gimmick, and this shows you how much. And this is where D gets his nerd points.
Mhm.
I remember when there was an event for Third Rock for the from the Sun. Third Rock from the Sun had a thing where they had 3D. They gave the audience
Oh
3D glasses,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
remember that shit. And this was the first time where it was just clear. They were clear glasses.
The live studio audience.
Yeah, it was either last. I forgot the whole gimmick of it, but I remember that shit. I will never forget. It was that scene where Wayne Knight and the blonde chick, I forgot her name. They were dancing, and you see all like the little leaves falling. It was the
Mhm.
first time I really saw the 3D effect, and since then you'll get it like that's when and but we get those every now and then real 3D started showing up in movie theaters around about the mid 2000s.
Yeah, I would say the mid
Yeah,
2000s. I think James Cameron's
and
Avatar was the one that really kind
really
of set
threw it
it off.
over.
Because look, feel how you feel about the Avatar movies. Me and Sue said as much when we talked about those first two films, but like you can give James Cameron credit that he did 3D the proper way. It's supposed to engross you in the environment and stuff. And
Yeah.
I think that's what this movie was doing too, to a degree, is that it is kind of engaging you because, like you said,
Oh,
little girl getting the fucking thing going there. I have to imagine if you had 3D glasses and saw that, it's like, oh shit, like
and one of the biggest 3D movies of all time, and I'm not fucking joking. Spy Kids 3D is
yeah,
actually legit one of the biggest 3D movies
that was
ever.
a big deal.
I
That was a big deal.
remember like the Avatar, they had that for 3D. I remember they also they did God, not Jurassic, well, they did Jurassic Park, but there was another movie before that. Because I remember they actually had a run of Jurassic Park coming back in theaters doing 3D.
Sin
Resident
City.
Evil, Sin City, Resident Evil had one. A
Yeah.
few horror movies had one. The best horror movie to have a 3D one, in my opinion, is My Bloody Valentine. My Bloody
That
Valentine
one.
was actually
Okay.
very good. Jensen Ackles is actually pretty good in that
Underrated
movie.
as fuck movie. I
It
keep telling
is. It's
people
pretty damn good.
it's underrated as shit. And like all no spoilers. There's a lot of twists in that movie that I remember when I saw it, I was like, this is pretty fucking good. Like
Yeah, it's
goddamn.
solid.
Because
It like
that was that era of the young adult horror movies, and majority of them were pretty shitty. So this was like, oh shit, this is actually pretty fucking good. Damn.
yeah,
Like
most of those young adult horrors were ended up like Stepfather to me, where it was like, it ain't great, but it's pretty good. And stupid, just stupid. Okay, that's the end of it. All right, bye.
like the Hills
There
Have
was a
Eyes
lot of that.
remake and shit.
The Hills Have Eyes remake. I know people that stand that shit.
It's not. It's, put it this way, it's not bad. I give it shit. It's not bad.
I don't like it. I remember.
I wasn't big on it, but I appreciate it.
Okay, let me tell you something. You remember the first scene of the second movie where the girl was giving birth, and then they killed her.
Yeah, to the mutant.
Yeah,
to the yeah.
and then they killed her right afterwards. I had a friend that was giddy as hell after they killed her, and now that I think about it, I think to myself, yeah, I think we should have asked a question about what he thinks about women. Sometimes you like if you ever see a guy that gets a little bit too cheerful when a girl gets offed in a movie, you need to start asking questions. And I can understand if the character's like a bitch or something.
Yeah.
But if it ain't, it's like was that your mama? But like, talk to me, nigga. Like, what the fuck?
Now, I say all this to say another thing that in this movie that there's a low key part of me that was like, if I had, Trump's America never happened, and I had money to blow, I kind of like that Dodge van. Ain't gonna lie, Dodge van looked pretty good. They don't make vans like that anymore. They really don't make vans like that.
The conversion vans.
Yeah,
they still do, but they don't make them the way they used to. Conversion vans now are the full luxury get up now.
It really is, because
if you're buying it new, you gotta buy it at a specialty place, and I don't even think they're making them like that. But yeah, you gotta buy them at like a little.
A lot of them are kind of because of the new advent of you have people that are living out of their vans and conversion vans, and it's content now. And I'm like, I don't know whether this is a sad state of affairs of the economy or whether this is just a new thing now.
About it in a weird way. This is what van life been a thing since the 1970s, where they was really promoting going out and
seeing the world,
seeing the country. And that's when RVs and conversion vans like that started really getting popular. And of course, they all lost their popularity, due to changing times. What, trains? No, that'd be a little bit too progressive for America. No. SUVs is what took the place of that.
Yukons,
which is
weird. The Suburbans, the Yukons, the Broncos.
Don't get me wrong.
Expeditions.
Don't get me wrong.
The Rangers.
A good old Tahoe and a good old Suburban. Yeah, I get it, man. But it's kind of funny.
Even the Hummers for a short time, the H2s.
I fucking hated the Hummers. I hated the Hummers so much.
Man. I'll tell you this much, folks. There was a time period to really show how much you really had fuck you money in the 90s. And Arnold Schwarzenegger started this shit. People were buying legit Hummers. Not the H2 bullshit. I'm talking about Humvees.
Bought them off the army lot type of motherfucker. Like, who did you know?
Sunny Surplus that sells
you on the fucking base to give you this shit.
Now, granted, you could buy them because there was a point in time where the military was like just saying, hey, we're not using these old Humvees anymore. We have this now. And basically it was some sort of weird sort of relationship they had with dealers and other places around where basically you can just buy a Humvee from off of the lot and shit. And it's like, wow, that's crazy.
I really think when it comes to any of the like the big cars that took over, at least just here's the thing. America changed over a whole lot between the 70s, the end of when we were born, we got the tail end of all the shit that remained in the 70s. This is when they still had unions making everything in this country. And the quality was starting to dip at that time, but that's because they were starting to fuck up. They were starting to bust the unions and all the rest of that shit. We're standing here 40 years later wishing we had unions and all the rest of that. And there's just so much that changed in America, and not just. And I said evolve earlier, trying to make a point, but the same thing happened to every industry in America. Shit changed, yeah.
But
Like
nah,
you know what I'm saying, man. But
but
whatever.
nah, I'm laughing because as I said earlier, like the biker gang getting just murked is fucking hilarious because they
I
get
mean,
to.
I mean, and they used.
Now,
And,
bear in mind, the build up to this is this: the kids they're at the store and they run across a biker gang. To give revenge, the guy backs up his fucking Beetle to on the bikes and knocks him over and shit. He goes to drive, and we get this man that comes in there, and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna do something," and then he does this little shit, and he grins. He's like,
and the
and
one thing
then
I didn't show, he busted the junk with it. He busted the window with a
windshield.
chain around his hand, and it actually came at it like
Yeah,
this. And I was actually going to put it up.
it's like this dude think he fucking Muhammad Ali in that picture where
One
he's like
punch
this.
man looking ass nigga. Yeah, and he drives off the shit. I like because they're like, I got him. Yeah, there's going to be no revenge for this. These motherfuckers came down trying to catch him
Siphon
at
their gas out their car.
and that didn't work because Jason, like I said, stuck her ass to the wall and stuck his ass too. Now,
Kicked his boy off the top.
yep. Now that was just the beginning of the shit. We should. And if you know anything about Jason, he ain't gonna stop until you get enough.
I mean, look. The makeup of this squad. We again. We have one of the characters. Was it Chris? Was her name Chris?
I got to be real with you. I don't know nobody naming this one, man. I'm sorry.
No.
I suck at this one because
Okay. So yeah, Chris and her friends. So Chris is the one that was coming from off of the first movie. She was one of the survivors. So now she's going back because she's like, hey, I got to get over my fear of coming back to the scene, basically the scene of the fucking crime. And but here's the kicker: you got a boyfriend, you got her girlfriend Shelly, you got Vera who's blind because what could possibly go wrong in that situation? And then you
I
got
say liability personally, but
it's very much a liability,
people got different names for people like that. So
not like Vera is fucking, Matt Murdock and shit. It's no.
You just call her Matt Murdock, nigga.
Look. Vera was not going to be, doing some blind, magic shit in this movie. Right. That just was not going to happen.
No, that wasn't going to happen. I'm like, well, she's gone. No, when you find that out, like, well, she's gone. But nice, I mean,
look. If there's ever a movie that this is, and you know what, I hate Blade Trinity, but I appreciate that this movie didn't shy away from old girl who was blind, that was sort of their tech guy or whatever and shit. They did not spare her from the getting killed by Dracula because she was blind. I was like, I appreciate you, movie, for not even just
but she gets because there was a time where in movies a lot of people they were scared to hurt
disabled folks, or
not even just disabled. That you didn't kill kids. You had like,
or if they're mentally like not there, they would be like,
I won't go that far. I won't go that far. They killed a couple of them
special people.
Oh yeah, they killed a couple of them. That happened.
But there still was that avarice of like, I don't know, the optics, guys. If we do this, look,
you already know the deal.
80s and 90s.
No risk.
To be fair.
No, dog. Real talk. Even to now, are you really sure we should? Like, look, I understand that we're doing framing this a certain way, but should we really put this black makeup on this white person? No risk, no reward.
I feel that was George Lucas during Revenge of the Sith. Master Skywalker, what happened? I'm like, oh. But here's the kicker, D. In my head, I was like, oh shit, Jedi kids would have got killed. Fuck.
Yeah, they would have got killed.
I didn't think about that till that happened. I was like, everybody was saying that was dark, and I was like,
no, we just say that shit. We really just say that shit because we really don't like Anakin. A lot of people thought he was a pussy at that point, so they're just going like, oh, is he a bitch anyway?
Baby killer.
Baby killer. That's all they did. George Lucas just made a baby killer. How is that even real? When have you ever see somebody in war kill babies? Like, duh. Just
Dude,
terrible writing
Palpatine
all
literally
around.
did fucking eugenics. He was like, I don't need none of you magic niggas.
Man, all y'all gotta go.
You gotta go.
That
Genocide.
one little special kid that approached that nigga, I'm like, you the first one. You the first one, the bold one. Bright-eyed and everything, nigga.
I heard you called Senator Palpatine a fag. You gotta go.
Suddenly, I like to leave your island.
It's like this is, and I think one of the reasons why in the retrospect, we all enjoy these films. It's just like you're watching to see what sort of magical way Jason kills all these people.
And Jason,
So when he
does.
murders everybody in the barn, you're like, yeah. If you really think about it in terms of who's a threat, I'll get the kids later. Let me take care of these motherfuckers because they might be a problem. Maybe. Let me get them out the way.
I like how let me get this out the way. These two got on my nerves because they've been wanting to fuck the whole movie and they finally did,
It kind
right?
of was blue balling us in the audience.
And she was though. And the line she said was she got up and went to the bathroom, right? He go like, huh, what you doing? I'm taking a shower. You could she's like, I'm taking a shower. You could probably do it too. Like, you could do it too. I'm like, wait a minute. So you fucked that nigga and you know he stank? You knew he smelled like all of the outdoors, and you decided to slide that penis inside of you.
Look at they're white. Okay. We got new data that white people don't wash their legs. We got data that white people be like, why are you washing every day? Come on. Come on. White people, stop giving your secrets out to us unabated. We didn't ask for this. We didn't ask to know this.
I mean, though, here's the thing that get me. There's this. First off, number one, brother, you decide to be with a white girl, so we're just gonna get that out of the way. But this dude was like, so no. What I'm saying is, you need to wash yourself. And what I'm saying is that I'm a woman. Stay out of woman's business. Stop being a bitch. You want to be a bitch, so but see, that's gay. You want to know when I wash? That's some gay ass shit. Little girl, if you don't go in that bathroom and put a you don't go in that bathroom, put a rag between your vagina, and like yo, like I don't get this. Look,
this is how to be contacting VD, man.
Chris. Somebody said, what's the longest you would go without a shower? I was like 2 days because I went 2 days without a shower. After that, I started itching. I would already been itching anyway. But if I went 2 days is the most I'll go. That's the most. And if it gets to 2 days, that's because I am depressed, probably. Look, but I can still go. I can still do this. Yeah, those are my balls. You're like, come on. How do you do that?
I'm just saying something here. I say this, that the pandemic, it would be sometimes where the pandemic, there were days where I was just like, I didn't take a shower because I'm like, I've been in the house. It ain't like I've been actively running or anything. The fuck, like, but then after that day, you're like, yeah, let me take a shower.
Chris, here's the thing. We got white people that will get up, work a full 16 hours,
to get their fucky ass in bed,
hop right into the bed, sleep another 7 hours. I hate to repeat my wife. I hate to fucking repeat my wife, but she's right. You sweat in your sleep.
Thank you.
We all sweat in our sleep.
I want people to understand something.
You did walk past the bathroom full of rags and soap
throw water in your face, and then just go and
Don't even hit. I remember. Look, you know what I accept. You ain't take a shower, cool. You bird bath the shit, yeah, man. I'm gonna throw something under my
all
arms and kept
right,
it going.
all
Go
right.
ahead, go ahead. Let me look like, yeah, I get, it. You didn't want to wash everything, man, but you do that. Why? That is called preventive maintenance.
I say this as look, I was in the Boy Scouts. We did a jamboree. You know what we did? Bird bath. Bird bath. We're outdoors.
What do you call hooker baths? They call
Yeah,
hooker
yeah,
baths.
yeah. Just a bird bath. You just,
Yeah.
pits, crotch, and your
Hey,
legs
real talk,
a little bit.
girls, especially you white girls. I get it. You don't want to wash your ass. But you know what don't take a long time? Hiking your leg up on that damn sink
And
and
DJing.
putting a rag, flossing. That it don't take long. I will give you that. Everything else, but here's the thing.
Here's my thing. These are
Look,
two consenting adults in a sweaty ass, hot ass jersey about to like get it on, and I know they smelling like fucking
in the
BO.
woods, in the woods. This is the 1970s word. These are bugs that don't exist
I
no more.
know that blanket is funky as shit.
I know that whole outside smelled like. You ever smell? You ever smell? You know when it's hot and you can smell the animals outside when it's hot.
Yeah.
Come on, Chris, you've been around the farm. You know what that is.
It's like, yeah, that's a pig. Ah, that's a cow.
Yeah, okay.
Or it's like,
Even
boy.
if look, some of y'all didn't live on the farm, but the farm was around you and you can still smell it. That shit, nigga. It killed me. It kills me so much.
But did you love this? There's a part.
Satin, no, Chris again. All the booty juices everywhere. You got the goddamn gall. Anyway, whatever. It
Shut
don't
up.
matter. It don't
Hey,
matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. They won't die.
did you love the moment where Chris is like explaining the trauma of getting chased by pre-mask Jason? And you just see the hand dragging him, and I'm just like, it's a lot of. I don't quite remember that scene, but all right, cool.
I like that's what I'm saying. Her dream sequence to me was the whole little dream sequence to me was kind of like, oh yeah, I forgot this happened on a movie that I don't remember. Oh yo, I forgot I
But
forgot
she
this
has to get through her
even
trauma. That's the important thing. The
look, look,
trauma.
look, 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 look. The important thing is that she will get through this.
Oh, yeah, it was a triple homicide because she was pregnant.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was. Oh yeah, this
yeah.
was during that pretty. This is during that prime time. That's DJ Sue,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen. Like, and that's right, Sue, because that was during that interesting time in the 1970s where we were killing everybody. If you said, "Oh, I'm pregnant," whoops, you and that little tyke are going to the upper room. That's right.
abortion.
Roe v. Wade, direct to you. No, I'm in my I'm in my second try. It don't matter.
Trump approved.
Wait a minute, no. He's not for it, remember?
Oh shit, because
Yeah.
conservatives don't know what the fuck they want. You're right.
No. That baby could have been the president, nigga.
President be like, I heard this Jason.
Mr.
Like
Voice. Tall Mr. Voice.
I heard Hesketh in the National Guard were to go in and get him. Don't know how this is gonna work.
I like how the Jason man. I love that look on Jason, like, hey, what's up, bro?
Your body. Is this Jason beta 1.0? Because that's exactly what that shit is.
Like, this is the first act. This is the first version of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, before we got the tall and threatening one. This is like dog, I could trip you up and probably get away. Like
This is for because the bigger Jasons didn't come in until after 5, if I'm mistaken. That's when Kurt
4 or 5.
I think that's when Kurt what's the name took over? I forgot his name. The
Yeah.
last two Jasons are the most famous ones to me anyway. But if I'm mistaken, he was no, I'm thinking of the last Jason probably. Yeah, Kane Hodder, not Kurt Hodder, Kane Hodder. I did, yeah. But nah, this first one, man. I love the first one where they're not really sold on the Dickie suit, and like they're not quite sold on it
Look,
yet for his
all
look.
I'm saying is Dickies could have. You know what I'm wondering to myself? Do you know how much cross promotion?
I'm a calf cart man.
Do you know how much cross promotion Dickies could have got off this fucking franchise?
Man, back in the day,
If promotion was like it is
feel like it
today,
wasn't
like the
Dickies
cross
back
promotion
then.
is crazy.
I feel like it wasn't Dickies back then. It probably would have been Levi's or some shit like that. I don't know, man.
I know compared to like today, but like
making good jumpsuits back then.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like compared to like now, there will always like nowadays you get that cross promotion and stuff. I think we talk about like Acura and like Mercedes with the MCU films and shit, and then there's like Pepsi and other movies, and it's like, damn, Dickies would have cleaned up back then if they were like, yo,
but this is actually one of my favorite kills. Because my girl comes out that shower. Now they had a whole little tense thing. She was like, huh?
Loved it.
She's like, whatever. She sits down to see something very interesting, Chris. Oh my God. 25 years of Godzilla.
Oh man.
Wow, that's a really interesting read. Hey, wait a minute. What's above me? What the fuck? I like how Jason folded this nigga up. Now I had to cut half of that off. That was all gore below that. But yeah, he folded this nigga in half, slipped him in the boards, and then my girl didn't feel the 255-pound man behind her breathing.
I don't know what's worse, this or Kevin Bacon through the neck.
I think Kevin Bacon through the neck is always going to be the worst one to me.
Yeah,
through the neck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a surprise, like you know.
My career, my future career.
Oh
my God, man. I feel but yeah, but that was actually my favorite kill in the movie, man. At least my personal one. But actually, no, it's not. That will have to go to my boy Rick. You see, hold on. Let me find. I gotta find this out.
He got electrocuted, didn't he?
No, did he get electrocuted? No, that was the hippie. The hippie guy.
Yeah, the hippie got electrocuted. My bad. Yeah, Chili got. I think Chili got. No, not Chili. Chuck.
That's his name, Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck.
Yeah, he like. I love this because what happened was she was trying to find Rick. Rick was outside.
Yeah,
and she was like, Rick. And she was just looking both ways. And this shot right here. And I was like, Jason has sneaking skills in this movie.
Well, I mean,
there are real sneaking skills in this movie.
As our boy Sue said, this was basically he's 100% camouflage.
Yeah, actually, I'll say 80. I say 80. You know, just because he makes a lot of noise.
I think that's what makes like some of the like the Dead by Daylight, like Jason edition, like stuff, all interesting. Because I was like, this is like, what if Jason was like solid snake sneaking and killing people?
I like the fact that those servers have been on for so long for the Friday the 13th video game. Mm-hmm. The servers are still on
and people still play it. Yeah, there are people streaming right now as we're talking. Somebody is streaming that game on Twitch.
And make it so funny now. I'll be honest with you. Every time I play the joint, I die right off. I really don't have. I got to be in it with a bunch of people I know, so we can all have fun. You know what I'm saying? But I laugh at how that and Dead by Daylight. You know what I'm saying? Like people love the whole setup of the whole slasher thing. Everybody crafting and making sure they have something. You know what I mean? To take down Jason or whomever it may be. And what makes it so funny with Jason is Jason gets to have these moments where he does some, oh my God, I forgot. This nigga's a straight up Green Beret. You know what I mean? It's just yoking niggas out of darkness.
Like how he killed Shelly and took his mask, basically.
took that nigga's man, shit.
And then turned around, kills Vera in the eye with the fucking spear gun. That was probably my favorite.
When
That was
he
my
was
favorite
sitting
one.
right here, he was sitting right there. I like, she dead. I like, pick.
Like, well, that's it.
Hey,
Done.
Chris. Hey, Chris.
I guess you didn't see that, did you?
Yes.
So,
Look, put that picture back up. I love the prosthetic on this. It's great. That looks like 3D. That was a 3D shot. That's what it looks like.
Oh yeah, well, number one, yeah, it is a 3D shot. You can just tell, man, with the wallet right there, and the with the fucking bow with the bolt stick still sticking out like that. You really can't see that shit, yeah. And I love that shit, but it like with the prosthetics, you can always notice the extra skin on everybody's face. Like in this one, you can tell they gave her a breastplate, so they
right there and be shocked.
You can just push that up. And we got another one, Chris. Mm-hmm. It is actually one of my favorite ones. Going back to your boy Rick getting yoked up like this. This is the second shot you see. He picks this nigga up by the head. And while I can't show it, I think you can tell by the face what happened next.
Look, I
love the string attached to the eyeball. I love it.
I gotta say this. How strong is Jason to be able to just squash dude's head like that?
I would say at least I would say at least 5. I would at least say 50 psi.
That's the worst. I gotta be honest. Look, that's the worst way to die. The only reason why I say that's the worst way to die. If you ever seen that first episode of Invincible where Omni-Man was fighting the heroes and stuff, and the fucking Flash dude, the Flash guy that he actually ends up grabbing and he's like crushing his head. I was like, oh God, that is the worst way to die. I'd rather you just punch a hole in my stomach and I die. Not this.
I still think the worst way to die was the most unnecessary shit to show us was when he grabbed what's the name, and the subway came through. And
that was
like as it's so weird.
I love you, Rob Kirkman.
Either I'm getting old, or yeah, that was legit. That was unnecessary, nigga. You didn't have to show that. That was some genocide shit, man. You already made your point. You know what I mean? Like genocide and I forgot what other anime just show violence for no reason. Not Hellboy, Devilman. Yeah, the original Devilman. Actually, both Devilmans had some deaths on there. Was like, you're happy? Are you happy you showed it? Cool. Moving on.
You know this shit had me rolling. Fucking Shelly stumbling back in there after he got his throat slit, and the old girl was like, yeah, quit playing, Shelly. Yeah, of course you're dead. I'm like, this nigga is bleeding out. He ain't that fucking good. What are we doing here?
Dog, she fell over. And like, here's my problem. Actually, my biggest problem in the movie is that some of the acting was like, oh my God. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of stupid acting in this, man.
For a $2.2 million movie, you gotta
don't you bring up the damn price tag, nigga. Anyway, go ahead.
Hey, look, it's not like any of these women were trying to go for the Screen Queen title here, you know.
Yeah, we weren't doing that. Like, you know, we
weren't
going out.
First of all, I think that does speak about how, like, when we talk about horror movies, like the way in which the actors are in, like you said, to your point, with the way the acting is just very, oh my God. I think now sometimes with certain movies, the acting is like, it feels too overproduced, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think we have gotten to the point where I think I said this when we did Scream. Mm-hmm. I kind of hate that us going meta with Scream kind of took a lot of punch and a lot of fun that these horror movies had. You know what I mean?
Unintentional fun.
Yeah, unintentional. Like, good example. One of the movies that weren't great, but I enjoyed how shitty it was and how, yeah, if I was a teenager, I would eat this up. I was watching the movie about a year or so ago, Terror. Yeah. And Terror, like I said, wasn't a great movie, but I was looking at it for what it was. I'm like, you know what, Gen Z? Y'all can have this one. This is kind of bad, but you know what? That's a horror movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a horror movie. That was actually produced very well and all the rest of that. That one scene was very, very good. The rest was dog shit, but I'm just saying it was
Well, I mean, I think now we're getting
we put so much pressure on these horror movies to be super, super good, and that's not how that works, man.
Well, I mean, I think you have like recently you have the Strangers, right? They're franchising it, which that's where we're at right now with certain horror movies. You know,
I think you have to.
there's
At this
success
point,
with one, you got to do a franchise, and
like
even
I
though
didn't like The Conjuring, but I didn't like The Conjuring
that
series.
shit is a fucking MCU. They just put out a recent Conjuring, The Conjuring Last Rites, and I'm like,
I hate
whoa.
The Conjuring from a down to my gut level of, you know, this shit was fake, right? Stop saying based on a true story.
Thank you.
That's the main reason why I
Like
hate
the
this
Nun.
shit. But even with all that shit, okay, I can understand because you have somewhere to put it in. You know what I mean? You have a section to put that shit in. But at the same, but you know, let's not sit here and think all these motherfuckers is going to be good.
I mean, because for everyone you get that, you get like stuff like Talk to Me, which I think
Talk to Me.
That was fucking good. I ain't gonna
Talk to Me may have been one of the more scarier movies I have ever seen.
That is scary in like ways that's not even like the typical ways that you think of a scary movie. This is like, oh shit! Like
they didn't do that bad with that. And the movie they made after that was good, but it wasn't that great. I forgot the name.
Yeah, it wasn't as it just came out.
That shit. Yeah,
so like when you look
at one with the Asian sister that was blind. That was actually blind. There was a blind one in that one. But still, man.
But it's like, but it doesn't take away from like when watching this movie where you genuinely are just like, all right, I'm just here for the killings. Let's see how this goes,
bruh. She was like, Rick, where are you? Oh yeah, this nigga not only smashed his head, but to make his point, he threw this nigga straight through yeeted him right through the window, man. Oh my god!
Hey, look,
I love that. That's the Jason I love.
You got to go cowabunga. It is sometimes.
But I will say this: there's an interesting thing about this Jason, y'all. He could get hurt.
Yes, this is before Terminator Jason, where you throw something at him, he just bucks it like, what was that? This is like, all right, you can slow him down. Probably do some stuff.
Yeah, you can slow him down. I ain't guaranteeing it's going to do everything for you, but
if you know 1 + 1 = 2, you got a shot. All right.
Hey man, look, you got to open it. You got to open it. Now that you get it, my suggestion
is you get the hell up out of here.
Start moving now. Jason don't play around, man.
But nah, like I just like it because at one point after he yeets him through the window, she's in the closet, right? And Jason's trying to get in with the knife, and he's like, all right, shit, this ain't working. Goes back and gets an actual axe to get through. And that's where you put up that scene. She comes out the closet, yeah, and then gets him in the knee, and then immediately runs away. And I'm like, all right. And then Jason just pulls the knife out, like, all right, and then just throws the shit at her. And I'm like, okay, Jason.
Which almost gets her ass too, because when you threw it, that was one of those shots where this was different. It's actually for 3D. It's one of the more creative shots. Right. The shot was coming across the screen to do that.
Oh, okay.
So when you see it, it starts up this close, but then it zooms to regular. And that was supposed to be the effect. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of a cool shot.
I wonder if like the home video of this, if they adjusted that.
Now here's the thing.
I'm very curious on that.
They did not have a 3D release of this until the 2000s.
Oh, okay.
The ones they did have, they came straight to VHS, and there was a Japanese version, but it was only Laserdisc. Now they did have, like I said, they had copies of it, but they were rare, and a lot of them they didn't print if any of them. You know what I mean? It's one of them. They didn't have a real official 3D release until the 2000s.
I do think what's weird about this, I think to what you were saying at the start of this, is this how like when you watch this film leading to Jason getting taken care of and stuff, and it just cuts to the serene waters. I have to wonder, was the studio really just aiming for this to be the last movie?
They really were. They really
So
thought
this was so they were just
going
gonna go a trilogy with this, and that was it, basically.
Yeah, that's really was. You know what? I think it had to be a combination of a couple of things for the studio. I think Paramount knew they were getting money from this motherfucker because they really were. But at the same time, they were getting calls and everything else for this movie. Critics hated it, but then you look at the fucking box office, the box office did crazy. A part of me thinks that the producers were just like, okay, we could be done with it. And then this one being the highest grossing one of all of them, yeah, they were probably like, we'd be stupid to stop the party.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the funny thing about Jason. Jason and Freddie had the advantage of both of number one, their studios believing in their shit, but number two, being in the public light enough that people like them. Now I will say this: by the time we got to the last when Jason Goes to Hell, that's when I blinked on Jason Goes to Hell. When we got to that one, yeah, audiences were kind of done with the Jason series. But then when we found out he was going to hell, that's when everybody went to movie theaters to see this shit. Who fucking knew?
So the kicker is that Chris is escaping and gets in the van again. Unintentional fun comedy in a movie like this is hilarious. I like how Jason actually dives out the fucking way, and that's what makes it. And I think that's what makes it so surreal because again, if you're used to Terminator Jason,
he's standing there.
He's standing there. He'll eat the fucking damn hit from the car. This one dived, and I laughed. I was like, hold on. When the fuck did Jason do this shit?
She yoked like yo, and here's the fun part. Your boy, the black dude that came out yesterday, the black biker, shows up out of nowhere to saves the day and immediately gets his arm chopped off, which is hilarious. But Chris, it's just you and me tonight. I did this for you.
Okay. Yes.
You're welcome, Chris. I did this for you. I'm glad that you like it.
I need to save this and put this up.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna give you that later on tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna give you that.
Please.
Yeah, but and one more, and what the hell? One more. Anyway, but yeah, she all gets him. I like how that man gets his arm chopped off. I'm like, well, the black man wasn't the first one to go. Good for him. Didn't show much fight towards the end of that shit, but here we are.
It's like I did it.
I gave the white girl 4 more seconds to live up.
Your ass could have been in the hospital chilling. Like, I guess I'm the leader of the biker gang now.
You had 2 hands. Now you got 1, and now you're bleeding out. So.
And that the cops, even if he survived, the cops would have blamed his ass anyway because it's the 80s. They didn't care about black folks.
Well, we see a black man's hands missing and 5 dead bodies here. It's pretty obvious that the Negro did it. Let's go on. Back it up. Come on, Polanski. Hurry up.
Sprinkle some crack on him.
Can't be too sure.
No, hold on. No, not crack. Put some marijuana in his pocket, And
put a joint on him.
PCP.
Put a joint on him. Yeah. Put some heroin on him. Put some heroin. That's what he do. That's what he get the kicks off of.
Raping white women and doing heroin. Hey, know your enemies.
Disrupting the peace of the white man. This is New Jersey. We have standards in New Jersey.
This man killed this beautiful white woman. Look at those titties. Perfect.
This is the worst crime we ever had on Crystal Lake. This enraged Negro showed up. Killed everyone.
So the whole time Jason was a Negro?
No. The bald one on the floor. The one that's bleeding out? Yeah, him. Yeah.
He's the killer.
Son of a bitch gotta go. He gotta get locked up.
I feel there needs to be investigations.
What if him and his biker friends went into the town?
I feel there needs to be an investigation into the local police department covering up cold cases.
You know, I think I feel that the Crystal Lake PD don't deserve the shit they get. Cause you gotta think about it. 99.9% of the time, it's just a drunk or it sucks. Somebody had a heart attack and they need help to help get the body out the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There
Yeah.
ain't nothing they gotta do up there in Crystal Lake, Chris. All of a sudden, 6 kids dead. This police force ain't doing nothing. What are you like? You gotta feel
I want
bad
people to
for them.
understand. I gotta be honest with you. Something. Here's the equivalent of it. There's a town where I got married at. Indeed knows it. Was it Chesapeake Beach, Maryland? Chesapeake Beach, Maryland is what you think of a small town where it's like one town sheriff who on his off days wearing shorts.
Well, folk around here, it's one of those places. Folk around here don't do that a lot around here. It's one of those places.
Like the most you ever
Actually,
get.
no. Actually, no. I'm gonna keep it real. You want to know what that place is, Chris? That place tries to keep it shit, but we know what it is at the end of the day. At the end of the day, they playing hippy dippy shake. All right, everybody, we got to come to the front. Oh, the hippy dippy shake. Oh, no, 2 man over there. Come on, over there, on the front. All right, we close down at 3 o'clock. We close down at 3 o'clock, guys. The same 16 people there every week. Anyway.
That's Crystal Lake in a
That's how
nutshell.
Crystal Lake is. You got to think about it. Crystal Lake, 99% of the time, ain't doing nothing. Not a gun charge. The last thing they had a problem with a gun where somebody almost died. Yeah, we all know Jesse been had a hard time. You know, he lost his job last year and it's just been hard on him. He son of a bitch actually had his kid in his hand. It was a whole ordeal. We had to have the whole police force up there. Thank God he didn't disarm the firearm. The kid was all right. We took him to jail. He's going to do about 5 years, but he's getting help right now. But that's the worst they had to deal with in Crystal Lake, Chris. They had to do nothing else, man.
Now,
the whole shit with Mrs. Voorhees, when that shit went down the first movie, they was like, I know this is bad to say, but thank God.
So
we don't have to deal with this no more. And then Jason shows up with the burlap sack.
Crystal Lake.
Next thing you know, oh God, he's taking creatine and he's more pissed than he was last time. Crystal Lake, it ain't the police force fault. This is one of the few times D is actually backing up the police in this one. It ain't their fault. It ain't Crystal Lake's police force.
I gotta be honest with you though. I was not expecting, because again, it's been years since I've seen it. I totally forgot this chick just said surprise bitch and then just axed them in the face. And I was like, well.
I like how earlier there was somebody hit her with the motherfucking shovel and the sound it made was a doom. I like the only thing that was missing out of that was like stars around his head, yeah. But also during that whole thing, we get to see Jason's face.
Oh, it's you,
Chuck Lake. no, with a Chuck.
Fucking Chuck from the Goonies, like Chuck.
All right, here's the thing. I gotta say, 80s and 90s, and partially the 2000s. They use the deformed as these superhumans. Here's the thing. Do they exist? Not by I'm pretty sure there's a ogre looking ass kid that was born that can lift a Chevy. I'm pretty sure that might be. But do I care to know? No, I really don't. I don't think we should. But you know what the 80s did? They were the villains. Why? Because look at them.
Again, sloth in the Goonies.
But here's my thing. How Jason, who never left Crystal Lake, had the fucking powers. It's
called P90X. Okay. My man was out here lifting logs, getting his jog on, his cardio on every morning. Come on.
Shut up.
Come on. Come on.
Shut the fuck.
Look at the neck. That's how he's able to survive being hung. All right. He survived being hung. Look at the neck.
He survived being hung like twice in this movie.
He trained like an F1 racer. Because you know the F1 racers, they gotta train their neck for the
little weight.
Yeah. So you know that was what Jason was doing. It's like, yeah, I know they're going because Jason has to prepare for all scenarios like getting hung.
You gotta do 4 sets of 3. Gotta make sure you don't never know when you.
I did laugh though at just the fact that like he just sat there and just pulled up, and I'm like, but Jason, technically you could just been on your tippy toes and did that shit.
I like that he pulled up just as a flex. He's like, nah, bitch. See, it came about it. I'm like, yo, Jason just let y'all know. Y'all can't fuck with him, man. Oh, yeah, this is the famous doom. You can tell Jason got him beside his head.
It's like dunk. It's like the fucking sound effect from
bonk. That's the thing that's missing. Bonk.
It's the victory Gundam bullet bouncing off the fucking lady's hand.
Oh man, that's funny as hell, man.
I like how we get typical 80s fashions. We get the ending, the false endings. I like to call the Dallas ending, where it's all these false endings. Because at one point, she's going across the water, and all of a sudden, you see Jason with the shit-eating grin on his face, and he had axe blood, and then all of a sudden, she wakes up, and she's like, "Oh, is this a dream?" And then we get another one with fucking that shit.
Also, by the way, a guy that's in the Pamela Voorhees suit, I see you copping a feel.
I see it. I feel you.
Stop, bro. No, I feel you. No, man. She's actually terrified. She didn't know you was coming out that water like that. Anyway.
Nah, but I just like how Chris literally just like screaming in like hysterical scream laughs, and I'm like,
she coming out there. And I like how the cop in front turn around like, no, calm down, slap, calm down. That was the only thing he was slapping the shit out of her. Probably the only thing that was missing out of that. Oh my god!
Just that shot of Jason on the ground with the axe in his head. I was expecting him to just get up all of a sudden. I was like, But do I have that picture? Or me with the body twitch.
With the body twitch. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, 'tis the season. It is the start of hockey season. To be fair.
Dog, yeah, this there's a picture. I thought I put it up, man, of him. Yeah, here it is, Jason on the ground with big ass ankle.
You know what? In any
Family Guy, he in a Family Guy pose because his arms behind his back.
I was expecting his body to twitch before they clicked over, and it didn't happen.
Nah,
and I think I think this was supposed to be the final, and then they saw that money and was like, well, we can recover from this.
They showed that lake.
I'm wondering if there is a soundtrack for this. Like that has.
I'm pretty that they do. That's like the only sound. That's like the only song on it. This is the theme song. They have that all. They have that all fucking Oh my god! Now the real part 4, yes. Now the real part 4 was supposed to that was supposed to be the real.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the final chapter.
Now the third one was the reason why. That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why they shot that third one like that, because it was one of those things where that's the end.
You know, if I think
now it's the end.
Let me ask you guys this.
And you had to do the final chapter. You had to actually announce as final chapter. You know what I mean?
Let me just ask you this, and Sue, you could probably answer this too, since you're in the chat, right? Let's remove 4 onward to present day out the equation on this. As a trilogy of movies, do you guys think these were strong entries?
Yeah. I'm gonna say yeah, only in the sense of if they would have stopped right here and not make no more, I can see it in a weird way. I can see it being like super celebrated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have a feeling
Like
it's going to be
cult classic kind of tier. Like,
you see, they stopped at 3. They showed real restraint. It stopped. You know,
right.
that's what most franchises don't have no more.
That's why the MCU is slop.
Because
And they always franchise it.
say
You
that,
just make 3
and I only say
movies.
that because I think you need a proper ending though. So I
Yeah.
will agree with the no. I think you just need a proper ending.
Yeah.
And even it's, when we get to 4, to me it wasn't proper enough, but I think you could have ended it on 4. You probably could have
Yeah.
actually
Final. I
properly
mean, it
ended
was
it on
supposed to
4.
be the
Actually,
final
you could.
chapter.
Actually, no, you could have. You really
Yeah.
legit could have.
I mean, it's like the final chapter, but it is kind of like interesting that when you look at all 3 movies, if you just look at these 3 movies, there is sort of like that throughway of like Jason's mom and then Jason. So you kind of get that progress of him being the killer by the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of funny how, like we said at the start, it's just Jason's a Terminator now because that just felt like that was the logical step you had to go at that point.
Yeah, you had to go. You had to go. Jason being a little bit unstoppable. You know what I mean?
So so watching this for probably like the second time in my life because it's not like I really revisit because really there's only a certain Friday the 13th movie that I'll watch more than the other, and honestly, like 3, I just never was like, oh man, I gotta watch 3. It was just like, whatever.
3. I remember seeing actually not too long ago, not even like 10 years ago, but sometime around that time, and I was like going through all the Friday the 13th movies, and I remember this one being a fun one only because of the hammock scene of how they died in that one, and of course, I really did forget the damn funky intro. I really did.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, I think people remember the final
The
chapter.
spirit gun, yes, and the spirit
Yeah.
gun, the spirit gun.
Yeah, so I mean, it's yeah, saying it's the weakest skill set. Yeah, I think, but I also think that's just because of how the movie just operated. It's just like, all right, get these kills over with, just done. So, but yeah, enjoyed it. Hold up, because I need to see something here. Because what opened around this time? That's the one.
But here's the thing, even with the 3D, we was talking about the 3D. The 3D for this time was for its time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, it works.
And
it
again,
does what it does.
and that's another reason why you couldn't stop this. And that's because if this was a 3, like you had to keep it on going. The 3D one, like, hey guys, you just can't do it like this, doing all that bouncing in the.
Mm-hmm.
We was talking about the dude that got stabbed and you had the stick all pointing out. The really cool knife scene where Jason throws the knife and you see the knife coming out that way. So yeah, like here's the thing. The 3D is what it is. It is what it is to me. I'm not.
This movie came out. There it is. So opening weekend. Yeah, this is a stack thing. So it opened number 1, Police Academy number 2, Romancing the Stone number 3.
Romancing the Stone.
Yeah. Gray Stroke, The Legend of Tarzan. That was a weird movie. Number 4. Splash number 5. Moscow on the Hudson number 6. Terms of Endearment number 7. Where the Boys Are number 8. Swing Shift number 9 and Footloose number 10.
They had a clear weekend to eat.
Yeah,
that was a clear week to eat.
I mean, Police Academy had a big opening weekend previous week, so that makes sense.
It is Police Academy, but still.
Yeah, you were going to beat that in. I mean, Romancing the Stone was on its 3rd week, which that.
I was just about to say, what week was that shit on? I was just about to say that.
Like, I mean, Footloose is on its 9th week and still in the top 10. That tells you how fucking crazy how popular that fucking movie was to still be in the top 10.
So DJ, so I'm planning for you to be on here next week. I got a question. Do you want to do something funny or do you want to do something fucking badass next week? What do you want to do, bruh?
Badass.
Fuck yeah. So next week, Resident Evil Vendetta. That's right.
Yes.
Chris and Leon together. I'm going to be beating my cock. Oh,
I want people to understand something real quick about the Resident Evil games.
I never seen this movie.
No. Me and Sue. I want people. You can go on our Leipzig archives. we interviewed the folks that did Resident Evil Vendetta that one year. We got some dope ass T-shirts out of it and stuff. It was
Oh
great.
yeah, I got it. I'm
But
gonna throw them out there again. Making
yeah.
them like this. But go ahead.
But the Resident Evil games, the franchise, right? There was always this thing that as fans of Resident Evil, we wanted. It was like, all right, we always wanted to see Chris, Claire, Leon, and all the gang to kind of like be together in some way, because they like when you put these characters together, they're like a broken S tier, like it's ridiculous. Hell, the one
and especially after the games really made Chris this
punch the boulder.
They really like the punch to the boulder thing really hurt you, Chris. It really changed your whole outlook of no. When the punch of the boulder was me equals that was on the same level of me seeing the Dodge Charger on that rope and fast, where it was like, okay, so fuck it. So we're fucking just fuck it now, huh?
So
real stuff is not real no more. Cool. That
look. The Alcatraz movie that's on Netflix, the Resident Evil one. That is like, all right, guys, you didn't have to inject so much steroids into Resident Evil now, because you're giving me like Chris, Claire, Leon Kennedy, was it Jill Valentine? I'm like, dear God, you're Death Allen. And so when you have Vendetta and you have Chris and Leon doing John Wick shit, because that's exactly what they do. They are doing John Wick shit in the hallways and everything. Yeah.
And when we did Damnation, we were like we skipped the first one and went straight to Damnation. Damnation was just fun. We didn't
it's very
going through the. I would say that was really fun going through Damnation, because I forgot, like, you know what? For a movie that is 15 years old, it looks good. Getting close to 15 years old. It looked good, and I'm really excited to see this, because you and Eris was like, I think it was you, was like, it did not disappoint. It gave you exactly what you wanted.
I remember seeing Vendetta because it was right after San Diego, right? I got Vendetta. Yeah, they sent it to us. I don't know if they sent it to me and us early, but I got a copy of Vendetta. It's on my shelf. But like, I remember when they, like, us on the forums at the time, when that hallway scene came out, yes, that was literally like, so this is where we're at with Resident Evil. Cool. And to be honest, that's the reason why I like the Resident Evil 4 remake really just worked, because they took everything that you see in this Vendetta movie and said, all right, this is Leon and this is Chris Redfield now. Okay, this is it.
This is the standard from here on out.
This is the standard from here on out.
I kind of dig with that. Hey, so I just really can't wait for us to do that next week, man. That's all. Hey, I've been waiting to watch this movie. So.
I mean, fits the Halloween motif, and I think this is a good way to kick off the proceedings for this month and stuff. Yeah. So did you?
Then Kill Me though was, I have to, if I can say one joke from Cinema Snob, because Cinema Snob did this shit years ago. I think he did this review maybe a full 10 years ago, but he had me dying when I forgot the name of those two. She was like, a hammock? How are we supposed to do it in a hammock? And he said, well, of course, you're supposed to do it in the ass. just you know how the way he says the shit.
So yeah. So next week is going to be Resident Evil Vendetta. That is going to be a fun ass time. So yeah, we will catch you guys later, and thanks for joining us.
All right, peace.